I love animals for as long as I can remember. I was 13 years old when it started. I was behind my father to get me a puppy, and his response, I was too young for the responsibility. Little did he knew I was all ready to, take that responsibility in life. One fine day, I was walking down the street, and I found a little German Shepherd puppy lying on the street. I inquired around, and a shopkeeper nearby told me that somebody came in car, threw this puppy off, and they never returned back. In the moment, I was very happy because I always wanted a puppy, and there the puppy is. But then, why would you do that to a defenseless, innocent creature who would feel pain just as you and I? In the moment, I was very happy. I got him home, and the next few days I could only describe as the best days of my life. We would eat together, play together, sleep together, and whatnot. Casanova, I started to name him Casanova. He suddenly stops eating, and I take him to a vet. And the vet told me that he has something wrong and I should be strong. We come back home, and that very morning, around 4 a.m., feeling uneasy, I wake up. I call him out, and he doesn't respond. I call him out again, and he didn't respond yet. My little child was no more. And later, I figured out that he was suffering from an infection called parvobacteria and was in the last stages and was apparently abandoned for the very same reason. My mind had to process. My mind had so many questions. A teenage heartbroken dad wanted to know why his first child died like his life never mattered. And when I researched more, I figured out that there are over 56 billion animals who are killed for food every single year. Over 200 million animals are hunted down for fun. Another 100 million animals die in laboratories. Another 40 million animals are killed for their fur. Over 5 to 6 million animals get abandoned and die every single year. My mind had to process. After knowing what I knew now, I could no longer feel full when I know that there are animals being starved. Or I could no longer feel warmth when I know that they are kept in tiny little cold cages. Or I could no longer feel heard when I know that they are voiceless. And that's when I started volunteering for different organizations. I was 13 and I started volunteering for different organizations in Hyderabad. And I soon realized that there were no organization in the city that rescued abandoned and abused animals. And that led to the foundation of my organization, A Place to Bark. I was 16 years old. I gathered all the pocket money that I could, rented a small space, and this beautiful small shelter ran for next 2 years, and we saved a lot of animals. Fast forward 2 years, I get into my engineering college to pursue my bachelor's in computer science. And the next few months I could only describe as the most horrific days of my life, because my grades were coming down, the shelter was not running in full swing, and I was given this hard choice at life, whether to choose my compassion to be an activist or to pursue my study. And I swear I didn't want to give up on either. One fine morning, I was in my college bus going going from my shelter. Looking at the shelter through the window, I just wished how beautiful it would have been if I could just take you along. With this thought, I shared this idea with the world that I want to open a shelter inside my college campus, and I was bombarded with questions. People asked, "Do you want to spread infection in college?" No, I want to infect them with compassion. Animals in college bus, do you want human-animal conflicts happening? No, I want them to learn the essence of coexistence. Your students will be distracted. They will not be doing work in time. I bet you will rather find them completing the assignments on time. What do you think parents would say about all of this? Parents actually sponsored a pool inside the college campus because of the amazing efforts the animals have brought to kids inside the college campus. And this shelter inside the college, so yeah, I didn't give up on either on my passion or on my studies, and I made my college the world's first animal-friendly education institution, and this beautiful sanctuary has saved thousands and thousands of lives. After graduating from my college, from back 8 years now, my college is providing a free engineering seat worth 4 lakh rupees and a scholarship for an animal rights activist each year who takes over this shelter. That's, kids taking over shelter. So in this process, we have saved a lot of animals, and here are some of my favorite rescue stories. Meet Moonshine. Moonshine was thrown near a garbage bin. He was a monotesticle case. He had a lot of skin infections and a lot of diseases. So we took him in, we saved him. After months of right care, Moonshine was adopted in a beautiful family. And that's Moonshine now. That's Sunshine and Stardust. Sunshine and Stardust are an end product of a breeder. Whenever you go pay a breeder to buy a breed, this is what you're supporting. They were supposed to be euthanized, but then we were glad we were in time to rescue them. We rescued them, we got them to our sanctuary. They were not even able to stand. Months of physiotherapy, care, and a lot of love made them not only stand, walk, but I bet you they can also chase you down. Sunshine was adopted by an army family, and she's loved to bits. And Stardust was adopted by a girl who was suffering from polio, and then both of them felt the instant connection. You know, people often question me what love can do, what love and empathy can do. This is what love and empathy can do. So yeah, now I had a beautiful, a beautiful setup in my college, animal rights happening, people are doing well, what's next? I knew that the space that I had inside the college was not enough, and I had to build something more so that I can save not just dogs, but then all sorts of animals, be it a horse, a dog, a pig, whoever needs me. And that led to the formation of Telangana's biggest animal sanctuary. And this sanctuary now acts as a sanctuary, a rehabilitation center, and also as an awareness center. And so far in the journey, we have rescued over 10,000 plus animals and successfully rehabilitated them in amazing homes. Now what's next? So the sanctuary was doing well, everything is good, I'm being able to help animals, the very thing that I wanted to do in life. And then I get a call from MTV asking me to come on a show called MTV Roadies. I was like, wow, how do they know that I'm good at fighting with other humans? But no, this season was MTV Roadies Revolution, and then they called me on the show because they wanted to inspire the youth to do good and stand up for right things. I went in for the audition, and then along with me, there was a guy who actually shot a dog. And in the questionnaire they asked, he have written that he's guilty about shooting a dog when he was 15, 16 years old. Of course, we both were auditioning together. He was thrashed left, right, and center. And then he was kicked out of the show. But then what really, I didn't want him, after that experience that he had, I really didn't wanted him to hate on animals even more. I exchanged numbers with him, and I talked to him. I understood where he is coming from. Whatever he did, he regretted it. And then I think within a week of time, he comes up to me and he says, Zabi, I want to do something for animals. So this guy runs a lot of gyms in Chandigarh, and now he's giving 35% discounts to each person who feeds animal and gets a membership in his gym. The reason that I'm telling you in this story is because, when we are doing good or when we are, on the path of activism, we usually try to keep ourselves on the moral high ground. And that's when we start judging others. That's when we start judging other people. If you're starting your journey as an activist, always make sure that you choose the path of love and never the path of hate. Just because you're doing good, you do not have any right to feel you're better or above than anybody else. Everybody mess up in life, so it's always important to hold on to the light and not the darkness in your journey of activism. So that happened. And then after all of this, we were able to reach over 133 million people. We have awarded so many people, but then, the number that I was so proudly saying that I have rescued 10,000 animals, I'm running one of the biggest animal sanctuaries in Telangana, so on and so forth, just describes how bad I'm still failing. Because as long as the number grows, the abuse still continues. Doing direct service is a great thing, but then unless I target the root cause, there's no stopping to it. And that's when we started focusing on our awareness programs. We run some beautiful awareness programs. So our awareness program have a pack of therapy animals. So this therapy animal, so the pack consists of a therapy dog, a cat, a hen, a pig, a goat. And we take all of these animals inside classrooms. And then the first thing that we do is we let the kids interact with these animals. And while leaving the classroom, we hand over a packet of animal food to each of the student. The first task given to them is to go back home, feed a hungry animal, and answer a simple question on why they feel it is important to respect all forms of living. Then we have a pack of specially abled dogs, and we let these specially abled dogs interact with specially abled humans. And the interaction is so beautiful. We also have a lot of therapy sessions where psychologists sit at the sanctuary with our animals, and people come get healed with these psychologists with animals around. We're also looking forward to take our therapy animals inside jail, so that jail inmates can once in a month play with these animals and have something to hold on to through their hard times. So the whole motive of these awareness programs is to make people understand how beautifully we can coexist and how animals can actually make us better humans. So that's about our awareness programs. And then my college reaches out to me again, and now they want, and then they wanted me to become the brand ambassador of the very college that I graduated from. I go in with the thought that I wanted to start a social entrepreneurship cell inside the college, but then I rather introduced it as a subject to every second year student. So now in my college, every second year student get an option to choose from various causes, starting from climate crisis to women empowerment to animal rights to orphanages, so on and so forth. And each student get to pick up a cause that they empathize with. And then these students actually go volunteer in these different organizations, and that's how they get their internal and external marks. Going forward in third year and fourth year, the major project and the mini project that they do are also correlated to the cause that they have selected. Like for example, if I've selected the cause orphanage, my mini project would be maybe, if I'm a computer science graduate, my mini project would be making an application that will help simplify adoption process, so on and so forth. And right now we are working with 8 colleges in Telangana, and I hope to make it a universal thing going forward. Now I have an army of students who wants to do good. Now I have an army of students who wants to do good, but then who's funding them to do all of this good, right? So that led to the foundation of my another organization. It's a branding agency that helps companies become a brand. I think one thing that I have been very good at in life is to tell stories of love, compassion, empathy, and build community around it. And I think that's what makes a company a brand. But then the catch here is we only work with companies that wants to become socially responsible. Now, for example, if you're working with a fashion designer, we make sure that this fashion designer is donating close to an orphanage every single month. And my team record the entire process and give it out to the customer of this person, saying that because you bought a piece of clothing from him, now the kids who couldn't afford good clothes are having clothes because you supported the business. For example, if I'm working with any supercar brand, right, every supercar that is sold, now this company is donating a wheelchair to a person who cannot walk. And my team sends the video to each of the customers saying that because you bought a supercar to roam around, now you're helping somebody who cannot walk move around. So yeah, that's Hive, and with Hive, we have worked with over 25 companies and impacted over 40,000 plus lives. For me, I don't know what's next. Maybe another reality show. Maybe I'll be contesting for an election. Maybe I'll finding another organization. I don't know what it takes, but I'll be on the move, and I'll try my best to do whatever it takes to make this world a better place. For me, I promise I would never rest until every animal on this planet have a right to live with dignity. Thank you so much. Signing off, your Gen Z activist.